and welcome to the Story Explained video. Now you might be thinking, wait, is he crazy? Well, I'm actually not crazy. For a fun fact, we're gonna explain Chapter 2's story and maybe the mysterious voice we hear throughout the walkie-talkie. It isn't at all evil at all. But, however, we do see at the ending of Chapter 2, which I'll get to in a bit, that the walkie-talkie is none other than an actual girl. So let's dive into this. Let's starting with Chapter 2's beginning, which I don't really have the beginning, but I could try to make it the beginning. So let's just dive right in, I guess. Let's start with Monty Gulf, for instance, since our character immediately lands there after hearing a soft message. Probably the reason why the original chapter was called Hidden Messages. However, this chapter was called Hidden Secrets. And falling down to this very underground bit made people on edge, or at least me on edge. Now, it's worth noting that there was one way we had to defeat a Grim Reaper. But during Chapter 2, we never see this Grim Reaper ever come back. So I'm assuming Chapter 2's main villain wasn't it. However, we do get information about Cassie. A little bit of information about Cassie, which we all know in Security Breach, Cassie was supposed to find Gregory. And due to the fact she tried, she went to the daycare, she found out things, she tried to stop the Mimic, and I'm gonna guess Glamrock Bonnie inside of, I forget what the rabbit is called, but I'm basically just giving you FNAF lore here. Of course, in Security Breach, we have Gregory trying to figure out a way out of this nest, and unfortunately, he doesn't do exactly that. He does get out of there, but either loses Killer Freddy or wins it. Now, I'm not very sure about the story for the rest of the video game, but it's definitely proven that this was the case. As in, Chapter 2 was the only way to experience stuff such as listening to a tape, which unofficially naming the person, since they never give out their name, to be Tape Girl. I know there was a Tape Girl in Help Wanted, but she is known as Tape Girl. I believe that's what the name is resigning until we meet her in person, which comes later. After figuring out what's in Monty Gulf, we end up going to an upstairs place, which we get outrun by Chica, which is very peculiar, as originally the commercial said these toys were not supposed to be let out of storage. However, they are, and I have noticed that every commercial that appears, which probably you're seeing right now on your screen. Now, of course, I made a video on this already, but I took this from Scar's channel. And it's about Chapter 2's commercial. Now, originally, it was supposed to be in the beginning of the game, but it didn't become this. And this is a Foxy character that we were supposed to get a digital version of its nightmare form. However, this game didn't seem like it had the potential to be like Poppy Playtime, but more along the lines of Joyville. Joyville 2, at least. Well, Chapter 2. And I'm actually excited to find out what the remaining of the video game is for Chapter 3. I heard there's supposed to be 6 chapters, so perhaps maybe we've been lied to about it. Maybe they're deciding to do 4 chapters instead of 6. However, we do not know. However, this chapter was supposed to be theoretically based off of the 1980s commercial, which I believe this is set around, since it looks old, it has a US tape, and yeah, that's all I can say about this. I do notice that throughout this thing, I will probably make this in Electronics Explained, but it is noted that don't mess with Foxy. Next up, I want to point out that this game, after completing that, we had to go to Failure Blast, which you guys are seeing right now, and kind of figure out what to do from there, which we had to do a puzzle, which is basically just shoot as many things, but there was nothing literally there, so I guess it makes total sense like we didn't shoot anything. Of course, throughout this whole entire Phaser Blast experience, we don't really see that much in the game so far. Originally, if you guys played the long game, which I might do in a certain chapter, or I might just let it slide. But if you did that in chapter 1, you would already have come to Phase of Blast, but not done any of the Phase of Blasting. But I think you would have. But in chapter 2, they decided to do it anyway. And apparently, red is the color that you are, and green is the color that you're being defeated as. Same as I think that both Gregory and Cassie did. And in chapter 2, we find out more about it. But if we read chapter 2 as an actual journal, it says a little more off how the planet came to be and what actually happened to Cassie and what happened to our crew. I'll read a little bit right now. The crew was destroyed in the process of it. Only two that remained were Lewis and our main character, Inner Peace. However, everyone else did not survive due to the fact that animatronics had killed them and hid them deep below the ship, meaning that there's a more subtle approach, meaning that wherever we go next won't be that far away. However, for this matter, I'm going to read you a little bit more about Cassie. It does say that Cassie fell down the same exact way, and we hear Roxy at the ending of Security Breach DLC. So perhaps there might be a DLC for Chapter 2. We're not entirely sure, but definitely there's a DLC for Chapter 1 because of the fact there are two endings. I think Chapter 2 only has one ending so far, throughout what I noticed. But there are a lot of audio tapes, and I'm not going to go through every single audio tape because of the fact they're immediately going to reveal more of the story. But however, this is just the explain video. And finally, we have something about Earth. Earth was destroyed by dinosaurs because of the fact someone decided to clone them and create them the same exact way they did in Jurassic World. Due to the fact that this was so successful, the dinosaurs started eating people, and then climate change became a thing where it made the dinosaurs have more of an advantage, more delicious, nutritious advantage. But this was never to be the case, as Earth was evacuated because of this. Most families had died during the time, and Earth was no more. Earth was no more living on. And this was seen throughout the whole entire chapter 1 as Inner Peace could not figure out what's happening on the ship. So you go, guys. That's basically all that there. But at the ending of this chapter, we do find out that there is indeed a woman of power, which I'm about to pull up right now. So let's tell the Phaser Blast. So of course, we meet this person. I will be playing some audio cues from the game, but we meet her and that she does not reveal her name. At least I don't think she does, but we assume that this is Tessa, right? Wrong. This is actually the tape version that's been talking to us, which means it's not Tessa. It's kind of confirmed at the point where she says, okay, here's the ending. We do notice that throughout this ending, there really is nothing else to do. I mean, sure, you could choose not to go down, but we go down the Crusher anyway. It would have made more sense if Foxy died to the Crusher, but Chica already died to the Crusher, so we had a verbatim. But it is kind of interesting as a fact that we are still alive, and we're seeing either ghosts or people that were still alive to this day. It's not clear if she has good intentions. She kind of sounds like she's Poppy, but telling us to do the thing to finish the job. We do want to exit the building, right? So this seems like the most valued thing that anyone could ever do. Of course, it took us a while to figure out what the intention was in this game, but we finally defeated Foxy, and we got a sneak peek of what the animatronic that killed the original other animatronic, I think that was the Earth Cat, which turns out that it wasn't that bad. I'll let you guys hear some audio cues right now as I just explained the whole entire story. And yeah, let's go through some audio cues. See you on the flip side. What's a girl? I told you you would be safe. There's still one thing left. We have to end that horrible, horrible fox in order for you to get out of here. You finally figured it out. When you found me. Oh, do I not need the walkie-talkie then? What are you doing down here? You must stop the horrible box, and then I can tell you exactly what to do next. Where we face Chica. You did so much. Now I believe you deserve to know a little bit of the truth. We evacuated Earth because of the fact of climate change. We also evacuated it because of the fact that no one else knew this, that it was being invaded by dinosaurs. We didn't want to be killed. We did our best we could. And now, thanks to you, we just have to defeat one more thing. An animatronic purple bear called Fluffy. If we can defeat Fluffy, we can make it out of this ship. He's the last obstacle standing in the way of the exit. After him is the exit. So I guess we're doing the Crusher thing. Shh. Oh god. Where am I? What is this place? Well, that's the ending of chapter 2. Remember one thing. Remember one thing. Try to survive.